Good afternoon, it's Dean Radio 105.6 FM, Stevie Wonder and Sir Duke kicking off another soft rock and acoustic show here on Dean Radio. And very pleased to say that we have live music coming up in the first part of today's programme. And over the last few weeks or so we've been playing the music of Frankie Wesson on this programme. I'm very pleased to say that Frankie has joined us here in the studio. Not only joined us, but she was amazingly punctual. Hello, Frankie.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks. It's good to be here.
Excellent. Well, it's lovely to have you down here in the studio. And with you, accompanying you on guitar, and I've heard him play. And in fact, he was jamming along to Stevie Wonder. And I thought, this is good stuff. So, hello to Reuben.
Hello.
So we're going to play a few numbers this afternoon, talk a little bit about your career so far, your new records. But let's kick off with a bit of music, and what we're going to do first of all, Frankie.
Alone, which is the song that you've kindly played on your show recently.
Okay. So this is Frankie Wesson, and the song is called Alone on Dean Radio.
Okay. 2, 3, 4. Trouble around here lately, since you've been gone. I've been trying to fill up my time with work and alcohol. I know it's not always easy to love me, but darling, won't you believe me, honestly? And I don't wanna be alone. And
single, which we've played a couple of times on the radio, called Alone. And when I've played that on the radio, it's got that sound to it that sounds like the sort of song that should be played on the radio. I've mentioned this when I played. No, it has. It's got a very accomplished sound to it.
Oh, thank you very much.
So, do these songs take quite a long time to record when you're in the studio?
Well, when we first started recording the album, so with Alone and the first few songs, we went in and we tried to get one song done in one day. But as we moved towards the end of the album, we just started getting the bass, like the vocals and the guitar down for all the songs, and then building them all up together. So Alone was basically all recorded in one day, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And you like doing it that way. You like sort of going for the more sort of organic approach of how it would sound if you were performing the song live.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, me and Reuben do like a lot of my gigs just us, don't we? But I've recently acquired some new band members, so there is a bigger sound coming at the moment. But obviously, there's strings and there's other stuff on it, but we don't have live. But hopefully, we make up for that in our live performance.
With the charisma.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely perfectionists. That we like to make sure it's a good arrangement. It's solid. That there's plenty for the listener to engage with.
Excellent, excellent. But is there always that temptation to perhaps go a little bit too far in the studio? Or
I think we know. There is that temptation, but I think we know when to stop it because it just sounds ridiculous, and you start losing the natural potency of the song that way. So. Yeah.
When I write it, I've always whenever I write a song, I know I have an idea of what the whole the band arrangement is going to sound like. So if it starts getting like too past a certain point, but I'm quite bad for that. If you get me in a vocal booth recording harmonies, I'll be there all day. You need to be Frankie, stop. We got to do something else now.
So is it nice sometimes to do something like this where you just come down and I mean it is a fairly, you have to take us how you found it, but it's a very basic operation that we have down here to play live. Is it nice sometimes to do something like this and just come down and play live?
Yeah, absolutely. We love playing live.
It's more chill. It takes the edge off and it gets us back to our roots.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah.
Excellent. And when you perform live, is it all your own material, or do you drift into the world of covers? Or
well, I do have at the moment a covers band called Frankie and the Yetis. Reuben is.
I am one of the Yeti
because he's got a beard and long hair and everything. So I do have a covers band that we do like birthday parties and pub gigs and stuff like that. But it depends really. If I'm booked for just me, then or if it's like a festival or like a showcase sort of event, I'll do original stuff. Yeah. And if I have a pub gig booked for myself, I'll do like a bit of mix of both, isn't it? But yeah, so we do plenty of covers.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, we're going to hear some more material from. Is this a new record that you've got?
Yeah, this one is called Still Got Time. It just came out on Friday.
Okay. Well, this is one that we haven't actually played the official recording of it on the programme yet. We will do that probably on next week's programme. Cool. So let's have a listen to the new song. And as you said, it came out on Friday. Through all the usual ways of getting downloading it.
Spotify, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, all those places. And it's also there's a lyric video for free on YouTube and Facebook, so you can listen to it anywhere.
And there will be a forthcoming proper music
video. Oh yeah, there's a music video coming out in a few weeks as well, an actual music video, so that's exciting stuff.
Which will feature many local locations, we should add.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Now when you say local, because you're from Abergavenny, around that area?
Yeah.
Well, it covers sort of Wales and the marches in general. So we do go over to St Simon's Yat.
Oh, brilliant!
Lovely shots and Yat Rock. Frankie stood right on the plinth of Yat Rock while I'm there, utterly terrified that she's going to fall.
It was wet, and I was like, I'm going to slip off here and die. Oh god! But it made for a good shot.
It made for an incredible shot.
Yeah.
She's got balls.
Okay then, so this is the new song?
Yeah, Still Got Time. 2, 3, 4.
Capture the beauty where we roam.
song from Frankie Wesson, and Frankie is down here playing for us live here on Dean Radio this afternoon, accompanied by Reuben on the guitar, and we're going to talk a little bit more, play some more songs from her in a couple of minutes' time here on Dean Radio. And one of the things we love doing on Dean Radio is getting local singers down here to perform for us here in the studio, and this afternoon Frankie Wesson and Reuben have joined us here in the studio, and we're listening to a selection of songs from Frankie. And I've got to ask you to start off with about how long you've been actually performing for. Is it several years?
Many years. I started playing the guitar when I was like 9. My dad used to be in a band, so he just gave me a guitar and was like, learn that. I was like, okay. And then I started probably singing when I was about 14, and then from the age of 16 onwards, I've been like performing in public. So 25 now, so nearly 10 years.
Yeah. So you say obviously your father gave you the guitar, or you took the guitar from your father. Is it a musical family?
My dad used to be in a band. He plays guitar, and my uncle plays melodeon, and my other uncle plays guitar and stuff. So it's quite a musical. Whenever we have family get-togethers, there's always lots of music involved.
And what sort of music were you listening to that made you decide, yes, I want to start writing my own songs?
Stevie Nicks. We'll get into Stevie Nicks.
Oh, okay.
Well, I always say, when I was growing up, I used to listen to a lot of, my dad listens to a lot of blues and soul, people like Ainsley Lister and Aretha Franklin and stuff like that, and Eva Cassidy as well. And then when I was like discovering music for myself, it was Fleetwood Mac and Alanis Morissette.
Yeah.
And like, when I wrote my first song, I would listen to a song called "Thinking of You" by Katy Perry, which is like very nice acoustic song. And that was the song that made me wanna write a song. Yeah. So that's where I started. Yeah.
Excellent. Well, we go from how you started to how you are now with another song from your repertoire. So what are we going to do now?
Yes, this next one is called Alice's Song. This is also be on the album, which comes out in May.
Okay. Would you like to tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, it's Reuben just stood up so he could start playing.
Yeah, sorry,
I'll just explain a little bit about it.
This could take a while.
Yeah, it's about my best friend when I was like 9 years old, and some of the stuff that we used to get up to. We grew up like in the countryside in Monmouthshire.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff we used to get up to, and sort of how you lose touch with people over time, and that sort of vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Reuben, you have permission to stand up.
You can stand up again now.
Thank you very much. And restless legs.
Okay.
Baby, on station that I like.
It's Frankie Wesson, who's playing live for us on Dean Radio with Alice's song. And your songs, are they from personal experiences, your lyrics, or are they, or do you sometimes go on tremendous flights of fancy and start writing about things that haven't happened to yourself?
Hallucinations.
They're all pretty just based on personal experiences, really, and from like just the first person perspective of how I'm experiencing the world, really. Yeah, I don't often go off on flights of imagination and fancy.
I don't know.
That's Reuben's area of expertise.
The mystical wizard.
And we're talking about, you've recorded material now for a new record, but you were saying when you came in that you actually are no stranger to Cinderford, that you recorded, was it your first record here?
Yeah, my last album, Young Lab, I recorded with a very talented guy called Dan Hopkins, just down the road basically.
Okay.
Yeah, we met at Colford Music Festival, because I did the busking festival, and the Monmouth Busking Festival, and the Ross Busking. I do them all most years.
Brilliant.
And so I did the busking festival, and I got to play at Colford. And Dan was the stage manager on that I played at the Colford Music Festival, and he was like, "That's really good." And he had like a little studio situation in his garage. He was like, "You should come around and record some stuff." And yeah, we ended up making an album. It was really nice.
Because it's such a healthy environment round here, isn't it? With all the free festivals that we have when we get through the year, as you say, you mentioned about Monmouth, and you mentioned, which is a fantastic festival, and Colford and Cinderford, they all have their own festivals, and
it's so great.
And I've discovered, there's so many great bands and performers who are playing around here. So it is a very healthy environment, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's really thriving around here. It's really good. I love Monmouth Festival. My parents were taking me when I was a little toddler, and we played there in August last year. And it was
that on the main stage?
Regretfully not, but still,
the year before I played on the main stage, but this year, 2018, we played at the Riverside, and it was like a dream come true. It was a real goal of mine to play at Monmouth Festival, and it was so cool.
So fingers crossed that may happen again this year?
Yeah, I've applied. I think the application's closed like today or something. I have applied to play.
I think they won't have the same bands 2 years in a row. I think there's a waiting period between that, regrettably. But
I'll come back next
year.
I
thought I told you that. Sorry, friend.
Excellent. And when can we expect the next album from yourself? Is that?
The next album is out in May.
Right.
So yeah, I've released 2 singles from it already, and there'll be at least 1 or 2 more coming out over the next coming months to sort of build up some momentum, and then May in time for all the summer festivals and everything.
Excellent.
So it'll be out then.
And the songs that you're all performing for us today are...
They're all on the album, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. So, let's have another song then. What are we going to do this time?
This song is called Streetlights. I was trying to sound like Bon Iver when I wrote this song. I don't think I quite achieved that, but there's very harmony driven on the recording. You'll be able to hear that soon. But yeah, let's do Streetlights. This is for my mum. This is my mum's favourite song of mine, and my best friend Amy, who's her favourite song as well. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Branches by its side, hanging
can imagine, as you say, with the more harmonies on there on the which you'll hear on the record.
It sounds massive, that
It's
the
huge.
recording.
It's one of my favourites.
I'm so excited for people to hear it.
It's lovely just
Thank
to
you.
see you once you perform this here in the studio.
Oh, cheers.
Because you seem to be very, very, very into your songs, don't you? It's lovely.
Oh yeah. Very passionate.
Yeah, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So, people listening this afternoon, they're probably thinking, I bet Frankie is all over social media and things like that. So, if people want to find out a little bit more about you,
I am. Facebook is Frankie Wesson Music. Twitter is Frankie May Jones. Instagram is Frankie Wesson. YouTube Frankie Wesson. We also have a Frankie and the Yetis Facebook page if you're looking for a covers band. I'm all over everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Spotify, iTunes, all the music places as well.
And that's a way of keeping up to date with what you're doing, your releases, where you're playing next.
All my events are on my Facebook page, so all my upcoming gigs and stuff like that, you can just go there and find it all.
Okay. Not wishing to put you on the spot, but do you know where you might be next? Where you're next?
I do.
Excellent.
My next gig is at Jack's in Aberdare on February 15th, supporting Coyote Creed and Addiction. Oh, I did all of that. And then the next one after that is the 22nd at the Green Rooms in Treforest, and then the 23rd we're up in Welshpool in Mid Wales.
Wow.
Yeah, Welshpool. Shout out to all my Welshpool fans. We love you.
And what about over this side of the border? Which isn't the border. Do you go over here? Are you going to play over?
I did. Where did we? What was it? The White Hart we played.
We did play the White Hart in near Colford.
My friend Dan, who I recorded the album with, he got a gig at the White Hart pub. Yeah, we haven't done a lot over here. I would love to. Yeah. Obviously, I played the festival and stuff.
So any venues listening in this area, please take us. We will play.
Or a covers band.
The audience will love it.
Drop me a message
We
out.
wear colourful costumes. We're very friendly.
We're entertaining.
We are.
Yeah.
Excellent. But I mean, the music speaks for itself. I think
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, very enjoyable so far. Well, I think we've got room for two more. One this side of the commercials, and then we'll do another one on the other side of the commercials. So what we're going to do now then?
This next one is Dying for a Change.
All right.
This is one of the big, powerful ballads on the album. It's one of my favourites. Well, it's my second favourite, ahead of Brian. Reuben's got an awesome solo in this, and I wrote this after I went to see A Star Is Born. You know, Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga. I went to see that 3 times in the cinema. I loved that film so much, and I wanted to write a song that had a similar sort of anthemic ballad, melodical feel, and this is my attempt at something like that. Okay. And ride this wave, Lord knows I tried. But when I just can't sleep, fall down to my knees, you know I just can't sleep at night. I wanna hold my head up high, I wanna ride this wave, Lord knows I tried. But when I just can't sleep, fall down to my knees, this sleepless hour.
Music of Frankie Wesson and Reuben on guitar there, and another track which is going to be on the album. Do you find that, you say you were inspired to write that after seeing A Star Is Born 3 times, do you find that things like that, you can be inspired to write something? You probably didn't go to the cinema thinking, I'm going to write a song about going to the cinema, but after I've been there, but do you find that you get inspired in odd places?
Oh, absolutely, all the time. Yeah, especially like going to see a musical spectacle, like A Star Is Born. Like you must come out feeling some sort of inspiration. But yeah, any just random moments. I was driving down the road the other day, and it was the road was wet, and it was really sunny, and you know when it's like the sun reflects off the water on the road, it's like you almost can't see because it's like so bright. But I was just like, that's such a beautiful, weird thing, and I just like, I put that in mental notes, so I might use that in a song somewhere, but yeah, just random things.
Excellent.
Yeah. Frankie is usually only ever 3 seconds away from writing a great song.
I do write millions of songs all day. Yeah.
That's brilliant. There you're in a little notepad and writing down little ideas as you go along.
Yeah.
Brilliant, brilliant.
Little mental notes.
Excellent. Well, we have one more song to hear. We're going to take a quick break and then we'll come back. And then what we'll do at the end is we'll just repeat your contact details so that if anyone wants to find out what you're up to, and obviously get the new recordings when they get released, then they'll know how to do that. So we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in a few moments. This is Dean Radio.
From the forest for the
Bye-bye.
This.
And we've got live music this afternoon, and Frankie Wesson and Reuben have been playing for us for the last 40 minutes or so. We've got one more song to play. Very pleased that we're just talking in the last commercial break. And you've promised that you're going to come down again, and of course you'll have to put that into writing at the end.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll sign anything.
Absolutely,
we'd love to come back.
Otherwise,
thanks so much for having us.
That barrier in the car park, that'll go down.
Oh no.
I'm joking. But yeah, we'd love to have you down when the new album comes out, and we're hoping at that point that you'll be able to say about the festivals that you'll be playing in.
Yes, we should have some things to announce.
Excellent, excellent. And in the meantime, just keep us posted and we'll publicise it on the radio. That's absolutely no problem. Excellent. So, one more song to do, and what are we going to do this time then?
This final song is called Loudest Hearts. How would you describe this song, Reuben? I always think it's just a sappy love song.
It's
but
not
Reuben's
a sappy
always
love song.
Yeah.
It's an emotional journey.
Yeah.
You know, detailing the highs and the traumas of love and how those memories can really launch with you after time.
Oh wow, you should write my bios and stuff. That was great.
I think Reuben should be the song of the one I'm doing the programme. Sounds amazing.
Beautiful stuff.
Okay, Tourette's.
Yes, it's called Loudest Hearts. Yeah. We weren't talking much about it. I fell hard and
Frankie Wesson and Loud as Hearts, which is from the album
Yes.
when it comes out.
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we look very much forward to getting you back down here in the spring when the weather's a little bit better.
Yeah,
And you can come in.
today.
It is, isn't it? So you can come down and play for us then again and talk about the new album. But we wish you all the very best of luck with what's happening in the interim. And if people want to keep in contact with yourselves, let's just repeat the contact details again, Frankie.
Yeah, it's just Frankie Wesson Music on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Frankie Wesson, just all the places.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you very much to both yourself and Reuben for coming down to play for us this afternoon. It's been...
Thanks for having us,
yeah,
Dan. Thank you
thanks,
so much for playing my music on. I really appreciate that. I really appreciate any exposures.
Not a problem at all, not a problem at all. And people have been able to watch this, have they, this afternoon on the little camera?
Yeah, well, I've got a GoPro over there. We're going to have a look afterwards and see if it recorded anything. So.
Blinking at us,
Yes.
red and omuous.
So, hello to people on the GoPro.
Excellent, excellent. Well, Frankie and Reuben, thank you very much to come down for us this afternoon. We wish you all the very best with your plans for this year, and do come down to see us again.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for that. I really look forward to it.
Thank you. Right, this is the Soft Rock and Acoustic programme on Dean Radio, and we thank Frankie for coming down to play for us this afternoon, and we'll do more live music on this programme in the not too distant future.